Okay, so this video I'll show you how to fan a window. This is something that takes a little bit of practice to really get down and to master. Really speeds up the process. We're just talking about seconds, you know, but when we're cleaning windows and we're doing projects, seconds add up throughout the day. So I'll show you how to fan a window. When you look at a window like this, you know, we do a lot of picture windows or bigger windows. A lot of times that's why people are calling a professional company to come clean their windows, because they have a tough time managing the large piece of glass that they need cleaned. We're looking at windows over here. Anything that we can do in 2 pulls. We're doing the pull technique. That's fine, you can do it that way. Sometimes the smaller the window, it's harder to manage a squeegee within that frame. But when we're doing bigger windows like this, I really want all employees to learn how to fan windows effectively, because when we're pulling windows, we got to do 1, 2, 3, and perhaps a 4th pull. There's a lot of room for error, lines going across the glass, that type of thing. So fanning is really the best way to do it. So walk up to the window here. We got this bench that's in the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to use 2 hands. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to move it. If you have issues which happens sometimes with decorative things that may or may not be used to actually sit on, you can have arm rails that are coming off, legs that are falling off, that type of deal, because people don't even move them. They sit there year after year after year. So if that's the case, you can usually lean over that type of thing. Just be careful when you're moving this sort of stuff. So anyways, now I approach the window. I'm going to apply my detergents just like we did on the other windows. Getting the whole window wet. And the edges too. We got these seals on the edges that can be, a lot of things can stick to. I'll go over it with the scrub pad just like we do the other windows. You gotta take it 1 chunk at a time. You can do that. I always go around the edge again with the scrub pad just to make sure we're getting up into the corners. A lot of times dirt can really build up in the corners, whereas the soap doesn't get a chance to really eat through it before we wipe it off. So the first thing we do after we get the window wet is we cut in, is what they call it. They call it cutting in. So we're gonna go in, go right up to the corner, crossed, down, and then we're going back and forth in a fanning motion, pulling the water off the glass. And this is closing out. That's what they call that. I'm going to show you this a few times, show you a few different ways to cut in. I'm working a little bit slower than I normally would just to kind of show you how I do the whole process here. Again, making sure that the towel doesn't touch the glass, pulling it back. As I'm going around, I'm making sure I get right into those corners. So just to show you again, I'll get it wet. Just like with the scrub pad, we go side to side and up and down to get into all the corners and make sure the whole glass gets wet and scrubbed. And we're using the scrub pad too. Another point I'll make is you can put quite a bit of pressure on this so that you can scrub things off. You can even use the corners or the sides. If you get a little bug spot there, this side here, the mops that we buy have a little kind of like our scrub pad there, section to kind of scrub if you see a little bug spot or something. So anyways, another way to cut in, you could cut in the middle like this. One thing to keep in mind while you're fanning windows is the pressure needs to be even on both ends of the squeegee. I keep a finger, that's why this little deal is here. Put a finger right there. If the channel isn't even, like if a squeegee gets dropped, it happens sometimes. Sometimes this will slide a little bit one direction or the other. You need to make sure that it's even side to side. If it's lopsided, the pressure is going to be off. And what will typically happen is as we're going across the glass, the water will go up and over. So this time I'll just real quickly put water on again. Now I'm going to show you a different way to, I always cut in on that left side just like that. Really what it comes down to is whatever is most comfortable to you. If you miss a spot, let's say I go across and I miss a spot here, the nice thing with fanning is I can just go right back over the top. It's another way to close out, right at the bottom. Sometimes you've got brick or things of that nature over here on the window, and to close out on this side, you can rack your knuckle on that sort of thing. So what we'll do is when we go across, we'll close out on the lower edge. It takes a little bit of practice to get good at the, all the different ways that you can do this, but it's a necessity for the professional window cleaner to be able to fan a window. So do it one more time, and then I'll do it one last time in fast motion, which would be like the real-time speed that we're cleaning windows at. Another thing you want to pay attention to when you're moving the squeegee across, and this is a lot of times what takes the most practice, is knowing where the ends of the squeegee are. So as we're going across the window, matter of fact, I'll get it wet one more time and show you what will happen if we bump the sides. So what we want to do, we want to get the squeegee rubber as close as we can to this, rubber seal around the window without going up over the side. When we go up over the side, the rubber folds up like that, and then you get a 1/4 inch or even 3/8 of an inch of water there. So what we'll do here, I'm going to show you, we go around, we're cutting right along that edge. Now if I'm going down, I'm going across, if I'm going across and I bump that edge there, what's going to happen, the squeegee will skip and you get a line of water there. So as you do this, and again, it's going to take some practice, you just need to be aware or grow aware of the squeegee channel. It's kind of like another appendage, like your hand. You're swinging your hand around, you just seem to know instinctively where it's at. If I'm going across and I bump that edge there, we get this line. So what you end up having to do if that happens is go back up and catch it. If it's real hot out or the sun's hitting it, you may just have to get the whole window wet again and redo it. But something that that you'll need to learn. So practice it, and the better you get at it, all the different techniques, the better you get at them, the better window cleaner you'll be. So the last thing you always do is you take a look at the window to see if there's anything you miss. Sometimes when rotating the squeegee, especially at the bottom to close out, squeegee can skip, the rubber can fold down and fold back up, and what'll happen there is you get a line right there. So I want to pay attention to that sort of thing, because if you do get that line, it's a real common spot to get water from window cleaners. Myself, that's a problem area for me. So typically whenever I finish a window, I'm always looking down there to see if I left any water behind. I think we had a couple of callbacks this year for that exact reason. Technician just Was doing a great job learning how to fan a window. Just missed on a couple of windows that spot. They just happened to be right in their living room, and the sun hit them every evening. And anyhow, I went back with the towel, wiped that off. So anyways, so that's that.